Hey guys, Barros and Ramos, and this Sunday was the final game of the Miami Dolphins season, dropping them to a 7-10 record after losing to the New England Patriots 38-10 in Foxborough. And unfortunately for the Patriots, the Broncos ended up winning, so they couldn't claim the number one seed. Both teams were fighting for that last possible number one seed. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins, just fighting for pride and not much left of it on the field there. As Ramondre Stevenson torched them for 3 total touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving. So not the best performance by this Miami Dolphins team. It is what it is. I think it wasn't the worst game. They played relatively well in that first half, made it really close. It was 10-17 in that first half. And then heading out of it, the Dolphins just laid an egg. Meanwhile, the Patriots put up 3 unanswered touchdowns. So not the best performance by the Dolphins to round out this year, but at the end of the day, I think they played relatively well in that first half. Started going real downhill real quick for this Dolphins team. All right, as always, we're going to get into the team stats, then do the highlight, then last but not least, box score, and talk about the keys to victory and how the Dolphins did or did not achieve those. All right, so let's start off with the team stats. Miami Dolphins had 13 first downs to the New England Patriots 22. Patriots were dominating the game on the rushing attack. They had 12 rushing first downs. Let's see what else. Third down efficiency, Dolphins were 5 of 13. Meanwhile, the Patriots were 5 of 10. Then fourth down efficiency, both teams were 0 for 1 on fourth down. The Dolphins' fourth down conversion was in the red zone, and Quinn Ewers threw it up to Cedric Wilson, could not come down with it. And then the Patriots one was a rushing first down that they could not get. Dolphins defense stuffed them. It's actually in the highlight there. You'll see it in a bit. Let's keep moving to total yards. Dolphins had 180 total yards. Meanwhile, the Patriots had 457. So absolutely defeating game by this Patriots. Oh, man. Absolutely crushed it on the ground game. 243 yards on the ground. Drake May didn't have to do much to beat this Dolphins team. Penalties. Dolphins had 7 penalties for 52 total yards. Patriots had 4 penalties for 52. And let's talk about turnovers. Dolphins committed 2 turnovers. They lost a fumble and threw an interception. Time of possession. Dolphins 29 minutes, 11 seconds. Meanwhile, the Patriots had it for 30 minutes and 49 seconds. Now we're going to get into the highlight as we always do. Disclaimer, I don't own nor have the rights to any of this footage. So NFL, YouTube, anyone wants to take this down, more than welcome to. But yeah, let's get into the action here. Mike McDaniel, possibly last time we see him on the sideline as a Dolphins head coach. Meanwhile, Mike Vrabel reviving the Patriots and his own career with this possible chance to win the number one seed. We know the end result. They didn't end up getting it. But Ramondre Stevenson out of the gates early. Second play of the game. Breaks out a big rush, setting up a Travion Henderson rushing touchdown. Patriots get on the board within their first 3 plays of the game. And they keep on piling it up. Another short rushing touchdown for Ramondre Stevenson. That's his first of 3 in this one. And then Drake May's loving it. Didn't even have to do too much on both offensive drives. Dolphins finding their way into the end zone with a wide open Malik Washington touchdown. Quinn Ewers is loving it. How about this? Travion Henderson trying to rush for that first down. Gets stuffed at the line by Darrell Dodson. Great defensive pressure there by him. Mike Vrabel not too thrilled with the final result there. But very next play, Dolphins fumble it. Jalen Wright, ball pops out. Patriots get on top of it and return it for some yardage. And just like that, Dolphins really finding ways to give the Patriots this one here, huh? But Jalen Wright, not a good look for him in Devon Achane's absence. But teammates are there to help lift his spirits. Just before the half ends, Zach Sealer gets a big-time block on the field goal unit. Defense is all loving that. But guess who's not? Mike Vrabel. He's not too thrilled with his team's performance in this first half so far. Following Dolphins drive, Quinn Ewers looking to get one in the end zone, but there's 4 silver helmets in that area. Not the best throw by Quinn Ewers. Should have thrown it outside a bit. Then Drake May drops one in the bucket to Ramondre Stevenson. This is his second of the game, first receiving. and then he breaks off this big one this is all in the second half, by the way. Ramondre Stevenson breaks off a big rushing touchdown to get his third of the game, second rushing. And Patriots were piling it up big time. Drake May's loving it. Didn't have to do too much in the terms of the offensive production. And then Travion Henderson finds his way into the end zone again for another rushing touchdown. So 2 on the ground for Travion Henderson as well. Patriots dominated the Dolphins in terms of rushing. Let's talk about the passing game. When we look at the box score here, Quinn Ewers went 16 of 23 for 137 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, was sacked 4 times for a loss of 20. Zach Wilson got in but had 2 incompletions. Meanwhile, Drake May went 14 of 18, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, pretty much clean sheet by him. And then Joshua Dobbs got in for the game for a little bit. Went 3 of 4, 23 total yards. Let's talk about rushing. No Devon Achane in this one, so got a heavy dosage of Jalen Wright, and it was pretty mid, to be honest. It was stuffed very often by this Patriots run defense. 63 total yards by the Dolphins on the ground. 23 of those came from Jalen Wright. 22 came from Malik Washington, Quinn Ewers, and Ollie Gordon combined for 9 total yards. Meanwhile, Ollie had 9 carries, so big disparity there. For the New England Patriots, 243 yards on the ground, headlined by Ramondre Stevenson, 7 carries for 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, longest of 56. Travion Henderson, 13 carries for 53 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Drake May also tallied 41 yards there, and not too much to mention for the rest of the guys there. Let's keep it moving. Receiving, Dolphins had 137 yards receiving, led by Theo Wise Jr. No Jalen Waddle in this one. No Darren Waller as well. Theo Wise Jr., 3 receptions for 44. Greg Dulcich, 3 receptions for 31. Taj Washington, 2 receptions for 26. Jalen Wright, 2 receptions for 17. Malik Washington, 3 receptions for 6 total yards, and one of those was the touchdown, which was 4 total yards. So not too much yardage from Malik Washington in this one. New England Patriots had 214 yards in the air, 5 receptions, 56 total yards to Hunter Henry. Stephon Diggs, 3 receptions, 43. Efton Chisholm III, 1 reception for 35. Demario Douglas, 2 receptions for 29. Kayshon Boutte, 2 receptions for 24. Ramondre Stevenson, 2 receptions for 22 total yards. Keeping it moving, fumbles. Jalen Wright fumbled twice, lost 1, and Julian Hill recovered the other, and Elijah Ponder recovered the other one that Jalen Wright lost. Defensively, Jordan Brooks led the Dolphins in tackling once again with 9 total tackles, 4 solo. Moving on down the list, we have Terrell Dodson, 8 total, and then some key plays for the Dolphins. Zach Sealer got a tackle for a loss and a blocked field goal. Rasul Douglas had a pass deflection, and Bradley Chubb had 2 QB hits, and Kenneth Grant had a QB hit. Outside of that, not too much key defensive production from the Dolphins. Meanwhile, on the Patriots side of the ball, Jelani Tavai had 8 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 tackle for a loss. Christian Ellis had 8 total tackles, 3 solo. And then key stats, we have Jack Gibbons with 2 pass deflections, Anthony Jenkins with 2 tackles for a loss, 2 QB hits. Christian Barrymore had a sack, tackle for a loss, and 2 QB hits. Carlton Davis, the second, had a pass deflection. Corey Durden had a tackle for a loss. Marcus Jones had 2 tackles for a loss. Jalen Hawkins had a pass deflection and an interception. Let's see, who else can we mention here? Well, Milton Williams had a tackle for a loss. Leonard Taylor, the third, had a QB hit. Elijah Ponder had a sack, tackle for a loss, a QB hit. And that pretty much rounds out the Patriots' defensive stats. Kicking, nothing too crazy going on here. Riley Patterson, 1 for 1 on field goals, longest of 52. 1 for 1 on extra points. Andy Borregales, 1 for 2 on field goals, longest of 59, 5 for 5 on extra points. Jake Bailey had 6 punts for 245 yards, none of which were in the 20 or a touchback, longest of 50. Bryce Behringer, 3 total punts, 155 yards, 3 of which were in the 20, and longest of 56. Not too much else to talk about in terms of other special team stats. So let's talk about it. Keys to victory and what the Dolphins either did or did not do to achieve those. So first and foremost was to have a steady run game. I think they attempted to do so, but I think it was very ineffective and not worthy of putting the Dolphins in a winning possibility. So definitely got a thumbs down on that one. Quinn Ewers did not really impress in this one, and wasn't really set up in the position to have success. You're missing your number one wide receiver, number one running back, and number one tight end in terms of like receiving the ball. Just wasn't really concocted to help favor him. So a bit unfortunate, but at the end of the day, in his 3 games of play, he hasn't looked awful, but at the same time, just, the supporting cast is not up to par. You don't have Tyreek. You barely had a healthy Waddle. You didn't have a healthy Waller. You were running the ball a ton with Devon Achane, so you weren't really getting a heavy pass load by Quinn Ewers. So it's really hard to assess him, but so far from what we've seen in these 3 games, nothing too great, nothing too bad. I really wish we would have been able to see him a little bit more involved in the mix early on. I was claiming for him to come in after the Browns game, but then the Dolphins were on this run. So, yeah, we would have seen probably a lot more of Quinn Ewers had it not been for this Dolphins run. So, would have been more interesting to see what could have been. But definitely like what I saw. But I'm not pounding the table saying, hey, we got to replace this guy, Tua with this guy. Definitely would rather have Tua in the quarterback position over Quinn Ewers right now. But let's see what happens down the line. Defensively, I said that we have to get to Drake May. 0 sacks. I think we only got 3 QB hits total, and 2 of them were for Bradley Chubb. So did not get to Drake May, and the rushing game just absolutely obliterated the Dolphins defense. 243 rushing yards. So Dolphins did not do anything well in terms of keys to victory, hence the score 38-10. Now, this is the final game, the last game of the Dolphins season, 2-6 on the road. Awful road record, honestly. 7-10 on the year. Things were not great for this Miami Dolphins team. They had a good stretch for a moment there, but at the end of the day, it was not good football through and through. Started off the season bad and had its moments here and there. Went on a winning streak. Outside of that, really bad season for this Miami Dolphins team. Let's see where they can build off of this. As it stands right now, the Dolphins' official standings and like where they could be in the draft is available. So that's going to be something to be interesting to see. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Right now, Dolphins sit at 11, and I think that's where they're pretty firmly locked into. Baltimore or Pittsburgh cannot affect that. They're currently playing as we're recording this video. So stuck in at the 11th spot. Not too thrilled about it. Really wish the Dolphins would have probably leaned towards tanking earlier. I understand they went on that run there, but it was too little, too late, and not enough juice left in the tank. So bad spot for this Miami Dolphins team. Really could have been looking at maybe a possible top 8 pick at worst. Given the Dolphins' fluctuating success. But it is what it is. I do think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. We don't know if the head coach is coming back. We don't know if the starting quarterback is coming back. We don't know if they're going to, ride out this interim GM or if they're going to replace him. They had Troy Aikman come in and help consult for a GM search. So those are things that are happening here. And let's see what comes of it. This Dolphins team has a long road ahead of them. They had a nice window where they were competing, getting in playoffs, and having possibilities of winning the AFC East. It seems like that time has gone and passed. Let's see what happens with Tyreek if he returns. Definitely would like to see a change of scenery for a good portion of this roster. Defensively, I really like a lot of the pieces here, and I think Anthony Weaver has a good gist of what he wants his defense to look like. So I hope the Dolphins retain him if they do get rid of Mike McDaniel, but it would be tough to see Daniel go and then Weaver possibly not thought about for the head coaching position. Lots of questions on the table for this Miami Dolphins team. It's going to be a long offseason with lots and lots of news surrounding this Miami Dolphins team. So be ready for all the news to come out about this Dolphins team. Outside of that, it was an interesting year. I had some fun and definitely a lot of not fun moments like the blowouts. Those were not fun. Today was just, a culmination of that. Wasn't too upset about it. I was just kind of hoping the Dolphins would play a little bit more spoiler, but neither here or there. That's pretty much dead and gone. And so is this Miami Dolphins 2025-2026 NFL season. And yeah, that pretty much puts a bow on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.